All right, I'm wrong. It happens. It turns out this isn't the cheapest piece of I have in the collection. Hi, I am Chris, aka Plastic, and welcome to the Pocket Legion. This week we're going to be taking a look at the first console that's been gifted to Pocket Legion by one of its viewers. Unfortunately for me, they wanted to stay anonymous, but you know who you are. Thank you so much for the cheapest and most terrible console I now own. This is the AGP2 from, I have no idea. Okay, so this is the AGP2 Advanced Game Player 2 console. So the backstory of this is I've been buying some bits and pieces from an eBay seller, and he's been watching Pocket Legion, and he came across this, and it cost $4, and so he kindly picked it up and sent it to me, but just doesn't want to be named on the podcast, so that is fine. This came like this in gift wrap, which is a beautiful thing. I think that, I don't know, if this came from an expensive department store, I think that would speak to the quality of what's inside, but seeing as this costs $4 and comes with a sticker on the back saying L26 Game Player 2, I think we're talking about something substantially lower quality. Now, I did open this already to see what was inside, make sure it wasn't something horrific, but turns out it was something kind of unusual. So, inside this extremely detailed wrapping paper, let's just think about that for a minute. That came gift wrapped from the shop, so you know, little Johnny on Christmas morning, hoping he was going to get a Game Boy, unwraps the L26 AGP2 Advanced Game Player, and he's going to find this monstrosity inside. And his mum and dad might not have even seen it. So, underneath is a white cardboard box, as generic as you can find. And inside this is the AGP2. So, it comes with instructions, and here is the console, and it's kind of in a plastic egg boxy thing. Right, okay, let's have a look. Because what amazes me about this is I think it comes with 8 removable games, and it also has, well, when you turn it on, 9,999 built-in games. So there's a lot for your money here. Okay, let's have a look in the quick start guide. So, English. Congratulations on your purchase of the Advanced Game Player, the next generation of cartridge game. Yes. AGP2 features 4 game cartridges, each with 2 games. All of the games have multiple levels and multiple speeds, creating over 2,000 different combinations. Okay, well, as this isn't a long play, let's get through this quickly. Right, what games can we find inside? Okay, here we go. Some little notes about the controls and a quick rundown of some of the games. Battle Tank, Star Battle, Racing Car, 2 lanes, Pinball, Snake, Fill Brick, Racing Car, 3 lanes, and Hit Brick. Yes, Hit Brick. Okay, alright. So, here is the AGP2. Hold on to your socks, people. So, what does $4 buy you? Well, firstly, not the worst plastic I've ever felt, but definitely a kind of light feeling design. The split lines you can probably quite clearly see there. This is a fake split line, this is an actual split line. This is where the battery goes in underneath, and this is incredibly over-engineered for the fact it's so cheap. It's got a little sliding switch which releases this, and you can throw 2 AAA batteries inside there. That clips in surprisingly nicely. This is where you would put a speaker, but it's just an impression in the plastic. There isn't actually anything in there at all. There's a little warning there about choking hazards. I mean, that's probably to do with the quality of the games. D-pad, 4-way, extremely squishy. God knows what the mechanical switch is underneath there, but nothing that you could buy for more than 10 cents. There's the on button, the start button, the sound button, and a rotate button here, a reset button at the top. And this is a useful switch because, as you can see nothing on the screen right now. This basically lights up all the LEDs, whether you want them or not. So that is now lit, and hopefully you're going to be able to see something. Now, speaking of the games, where are they? It turns out the AGP2 has thought of everything. So this is the inserted game cartridge right here, and these stiff little beggars are just storage down the bottom. Now, I don't know, but a lot of these cheap devices, the games are usually already all built into the device, and all these are, because it is actually a little chip, all these usually are just a switch that switches the game to a different piece of software inside. So this is Car Racing 2 and Pinball. This is Snake Game and Philbrick. There are some titles here that I'm sure are getting you all really excited. This is Car Racing Game and Hit Brick. And this is Tank Game and Star Battle. Well, okay. Let's start with something we might recognise. Let's start with Snake Game. So, like I say, this has games built in. So let's turn it on without putting a cartridge in. Well, they were not lying. It does have awesome sound. That is here. So on the screen, it looks like it's Liquid Crystal. So we have AGP2, so you can never forget. Speed 0, level 0, score, game over flashing there, sound, and next. Okay. So I'm not quite sure what either of these things are, but if I press the rotate button, it switches between H or G. So I think G might be the racing car game, and H, I have no idea. But let's just have a look at one of the built-in games. Okay, well, I'm holding down the rotate button, and it appears to be shooting stuff on the top of the screen. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to play it through the viewfinder so you can have the full experience. Okay, I mean, I'm shooting, there's something happening, there is sound effects. Okay, alright, well let's go back to the menu. Yeah. I like how these ones pulse in time to the music. I don't know if that's just because there's a bad resistor in there or something, or it's supposed to do that, but it's kind of I'm going to call that a feature. Right, let's turn it off and see if we can play a game that we recognise. So I'm going to put in Snake. Oh, it's interesting. So the ones that go in the bottom, down here, are incredibly stiff and they're very difficult to get out. This one here, which is the actual game slot, and it does actually have contacts inside, so it's not total bullshit. Let's pop that in. It just slides on in. There's literally no resistance at all. Okay, turn it on. Okay, well, apart from a glitch in the sound, exactly the same. Okay, G, H, G, H. I'm going to hit reset again and see whether... aha, hang on, it's registered the cartridge now. We have E. And E, of course, is the letter that represents the game Snake. So let's start that. Okay. Uh-oh. Wow. That is actually a game of Snake. Alright, well you do play games, that wasn't a total lie. But for $4 you got 8 games, that's not bad. Alright, AGP2, it's time for you to be judged. AGP2, you are perplexing. You're cheap, you're nasty. But you know what? I think you're a worthy addition. Thank you so much for my anonymous benefactor from providing this. You fit inside the pocket. Your games will all go in. You're probably quite a good thing to give a 5-year-old. So for that reason, I'm going to give you a Pocket Legion rating. If I'd buy that for a monkey. I don't know if I'll ever find a console that cheap ever again. This week's game is DMC Devil May Cry. Take your sword and beat the crap out of some villains. Thanks for watching. Please do tell a friend, like, and please do subscribe. Check out our Facebook page and our new Instagram page where there'll be a bunch of more news and Steam keys and stuff like that. And until next week, keep your pockets back.